Hello there guys, hope you're all doing well. It's Kid Bombing here. You probably might recognise me as a video creator and storyteller once I did previous read out videos, since you quite enjoyed it so far. And also welcome back to my channel. I am glad to see you. You are finally here to join me on another read out video for you guys. So I'll be doing another Disney read aloud. I show you a book I've got. First of all, I got Disney Meet the Robinsons, which was inspired by 2007 CGI modern animated classic film. This is published by Disney's Wonderful Reading and Scholastic. So, what I intend to do, I'm going to read this book word by words, and so I'll be showing some of those pictures from each page as well. So, are you sure you want to join me for a story time with me? Fantastic. So, let's begin. On the cold, rainy night, a lone figure laid the box at the door of a 6th Street orphanage and ran away. Mildred, the kindly orphanage director, heard the knock and slowly opened the door. Nearly 30 years later, that baby had grown into a young inventor named Louis, but Louis couldn't invent a thing he wanted most a family. One day, Louis demonstrated his latest device to a couple he hoped would adopt him, but the peanut butter and jam sandwich maker exploded all over everything. Louis was so disappointed. He wished his real mother were there. He decided to find a way to remember her. He set to work creating a device called a memory scanner, which Louis hoped would be able to recall memories from the past. Louis worked many nights on an invention, keeping awake his poor roommate, Mike Goob. Yagabellion. Finally, Louis finished a memory scanner and entered it in a school science fair. On a big day, the school gym was bustling with excitement. Dr. Cranklehorn, a real scientist from Inventico Labs, was one of the judges, and an anxious Louis placed his invention on the table and covered the device with a blanket. Suddenly, a boy named Wilbur Robinson magically appeared. Wilbur said he was from the future. Wilbur asked Louis if he had seen a tall man in a bowler hat, who Wilbur explained he had stolen a time machine. Little did the boys know that bowler hat guy was hidden nearby. His evil partner, robotic bowler hat named Doris, quietly uncovered Louis's memory scanner with a steely claw. Doris loosened the memory scanner's bolts and tore off the blanket. She then slipped away unnoticed. Finally, Louis presented the memory scanner to the judges. With a whir, the device sprang to life. Then it started to shake. The fan flew off, smashing the ceiling lights. One thing led to another, and soon the entire gym was in chaos. With tears in his eyes, Louis ran back to the orphanage and climbed up to the roof, where he ripped out pages from his invention notebook. Then Wilbur appeared again. "Cuckoo, cuckoo," he said, pretending to be a pigeon. Wilbur insisted that Louis fix his memory scanner to prove he was from the future. Wilbur pushed unexpecting Lewis into his time machine. "To the future," said Wilbur. As they blasted off, Lewis's eyes grew wide as he stared out the window of Wilbur's time machine. The future looked amazing. Wilbur kept talking about fixing the memory scanner, but all Lewis wanted to do was to use the time machine to go back and see his mother. After tearing up the memory scanner plans, Lewis grabbed the controls of the time machine. The boys scuffled up and ended up crash landing not far from Wilbur's house. Meanwhile, Bowler Hat Guy was still in the present. He attempted to pass off the memory scanner as his own invention at Inventco headquarters, but Bowler Hat Guy didn't know how to turn on the device. The Inventco chairman threw him out. Bowler Hat Guy looked at Doris and said, "We must find that boy." Back in the future, Wilbur Lewis pushed the damaged time machine into Robinson's garage. Lewis agreed to try to fix the time machine if Wilbur would take him to the past to see his mother. Wilbur finally put a silly fruit hat on Lewis' head to disguise his hair and ordered him not to leave the garage. Lewis didn't listen. He wandered over to the travel tube and got too close. Whoosh! Lewis found himself rocketing through the maze of tubes that transported him all over the Robinson's house. At last, Lewis ended up outside and met Bud, Wilbur's grandpa. Together, Lewis and Grandpa took the tubes to every room in the house. Lewis met nearly all of the Robinsons, including Uncle Gaston, the human cannonball, Uncle Art, an intergalactic pizza delivery guy, cousin, Tulula, who wore a skyscraper headpiece, Uncle Frist and his wife, Petunia, a hand puppet, and cousin, Lazlo, whose propeller helmet helps him fly. Wilbur was furious when he found Lewis. "I told you to stay in the garage." "I did," said Lewis, "but I went up the tube and I ran into your family and..." Wilbur panicked. Luckily, no one had realized Lewis was from the past. Back at the orphanage, Bowler Hat Guy was looking for Lewis, but he only found Goob, Lewis's roommate. Goob had been beaten up by his teammates after missing the game, winning and catch and losing the championship. Bowler Hat Guy encouraged Goob to keep his bitter feelings inside. In the future, Wilbur told Lewis about his inventor father, Cornelius Robinson. The world he knew Cornelius as the founder of the future. Wilbur explained that when his father failed, like when he invented Doris, originally intended as a helpful hat, he learned from those mistakes. Cornelius' motto was keep moving forward. That story inspired Lewis, the boy trying to fix the broken time machine, but he failed. Just then, Fanny, Wilbur's mother, called the boys to dinner. The Robinsons were having spaghetti and meatballs. Uncle Gaston was even shooting meatballs from one of the cannons he invented. At the same time, Bowler Hat Guy and Doris had just arrived in the stolen time machine. Bowler Hat Guy had gone back in time to steal the dinosaur to help kidnap Lewis, controlled by a little Doris on his head. The T-Rex crashed through the Robinsons' dining room and chased Lewis. The entire family sprang into action. Wilbur launched a meatball using Uncle Gaston's cannon. It wreckaged off the wall and knocked the little doors off the dino's head. But the hat guy lost control of the beast. The T-Rex stopped chasing Lewis. He was safe. Robinson and the robot, Kyle, gathered around Lewis. Everyone agreed that he was a wonderful boy who deserved to have a family that loved him. Lewis, do you want to be a Robinson? Fanny asked. Lewis couldn't believe what he was hearing, but Wilbur knew better. He knocked the hat off Lewis's head. The Robinsons gasped when he saw Lewis's hair and realized that he was from the past. Franny told Lewis he would have to return to his own time. Worst of all, Wilbur said he never intended on taking him back in time to find his mother. Feeling betrayed, Lewis ran away, but ever resourceful, Bottle Hat Guy found Lewis and promised to take the boy to see his mother. In return, Lewis agreed to show the Bottle Hat Guy how to turn on the memory device, the memory scanner. In the dark room, Lewis turned on the memory scanner. Bottle Hat Guy then tied Lewis up and switched on the light to reveal that they were in an old orphanage. The light illuminated another surprise. Bottle Hat Guy was someone Lewis knew very well. Yes, it is I, Mike, your goblin bullion, said wiry villain. If you hadn't kept me up all night working on your stupid project, then I wouldn't have missed the catch. Eventually, they closed down the orphanage and everyone left except me. Bottle Hat Guy had stolen a time machine in the future to get his revenge on Lewis and ruin a course of his life. Lewis suddenly realized something even more shocking would grow up to be an inventor. Cornelius Robinson, Wilbur's father. Bottle Hat Guy told Lewis and the memory scanner to the roof, where Bottle Hat Guy had parked a stolen time machine. Luckily, help was on the way. To Lewis's surprise, Wilbur and Carl rescued him from the villain. Bottle Hat Guy, who still had a memory scanner, blasted off in his own time machine. Landing in the present at Fentico, Bottle Hat Guy convinced the chairman to purchase the memory scanner. If that happened, he would change the future. Lewis's future as a famous inventor would never came to pass. As Wilbur pleaded with Lewis to fix the time machine, the boys heard a strange rushing noise. Suddenly, Wilbur was pulled into the darkening sky. Wilbur shouted Lewis, but in the future that Bottle Hat Guy had created, Wilbur didn't exist. Lewis knew how to work quickly to restore things to the way they had been. Working hard, he had made a final adjustment to Wilbur's broken time machine and successfully started a vehicle. Lewis's purchase punched the date into a time machine's dashboard control. The time machine transported Lewis back in time to Inventico's headquarters. Goob, stop, Lewis commanded. She's using you, Goob, and once she gets what she wants, she'll get rid of you. When he saw Doris, Lewis made a promise never to invent her. and with that, she instantly disappeared. Lewis and Bowler Hat Guy zoomed away from Inventico and returned to the future to find it completely restored. Then the sun grew brighter as they landed at Robinson's house, and Wilbur had returned. When Wilbur saw Bowler Hat Guy, ran in to tackle him. "He's a bad guy," yelled Wilbur. "No, he's not," said Lewis. "He's my roommate." As the two boys talked, Bowler Hat Guy quite quietly slipped away. He had decided it was time for him to find his own way in the future. Just then, Colonel Robinson arrived home and met Lewis. "Where are we?" said Lewis. "So, if I got back now, then this will be my future." "That depends on you," said Coloness. "You've got to make a right choice and keep moving forward." Lewis waved goodbye to the Robinsons. Wilbur kept his promise to take Lewis back in time to see his mother. This was the chance Lewis had been waiting for all of his life, but he knew how to move forward and live the life that he was waiting for him. So Lewis got back into the time machine. Wilbur brought Lewis back to the present, but before returning to the science fair, Lewis raced to the baseball field. "Goob, wake up," he yelled across the fence, and with that, sleepy little Goob yawned, stretched out his glove, and made the game-winning catch. The crowd cheered. Look, Goob was a hero. Lewis returned to the science fair and asked for the second chance to demonstrate his invention. Dr. Cranklehorn volunteered to test the memory scanner. "Just give me a date to input," Lewis said, and she whispered in his ear. The memory scanner's screen began to flow. Then it showed the image of Dr. Cranklehorn's wedding. The invention worked. Dr. Cranklehorn was impressed. In fact, she and her husband, Bud Robinson, soon adopted Lewis, and he changed Lewis's name to Cornelius. Lewis finally had a family, and his future looked very, very bright. The end. So, I hope you enjoyed the story of Disney's Meet the Robinson. It's about the boy named Lewis and his future son named Wilbur Robinson. How he changed the future in a better life. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for listening to the story. And thank you for watching this video. And also remember to subscribe to my channel, hit this bell notification, and don't miss out the future content. That's really important for you guys, and don't miss out. There's my social, you can find me just below the video description. You can find me on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram and TikTok. You can support my exclusive contents. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for future contents, and I'll see you soon.